From New Trier High School in Winnetka, it's the 1991 Girls IHSA State Swimming and Diving Championships. Hello everyone, I'm Ron Gleason and I'm joined by former New Trier head coach Bruce Woodbury, who coached 7 consecutive championships in the 1980s. And Bruce, always a loud, well-attended event for the championship.
And this promises to be an exciting one too, although it looks like Hinsdale Central has wrapped up the team trophy, and with New Trier second, it's going to be a real good individual meet.
Hinsdale Central very strong, but at least it looks like a very deep field individually.
Yeah, a lot of returning champions back this year. Jenny Grable in the breaststroke, Lisa Kuhl in the butterfly, Ann Campy in the IM and the 500, Greta Stephenson in the 200, and Carrie Zarcy in the diving.
A lot of great events coming up. We're going to carry both the consolation and championship, so we better get right to it. The 200 medley is coming up. Stick around. We are back at New Trier High School in the natatorium, where we're getting set for the consolations of the 200-yard medley relay. Let's take a look at how they'll show up here. In lane number 2, it'll be the team from Palatine. In lane 3, Naperville Central. Lane number 4, it is Libertyville. Crystal Lake Central, the team in lane number 5. Lake Forest High School in lane 6. And the team from Rosary and Aurora in lane number 7.
The fastest swimmers, the fastest relays will be in the middle of the pool in lane 4. This race is 200 yards, each swimmer going 2 lengths of the pool of each of the individual strokes. They start off with the backstrokers, they'll start in the water, then breaststroke, then butterfly, and then the freestyle.
Now keep in mind, this is the consolation round, so if you win this one, the highest place you will have is 7th place in the state meet. But of course, every place from 1 through 12 makes a difference in terms of team standings overall. You get credit for 1st through 12th place, and relays, of course, count twice as much than an individual event, so this is very important indeed for the teams involved. And we are underway with the 200-yard medley relay. The backstroke is the first event, and you see right now in lane number 5, it is Crystal Lake Central with a slight lead. And now in the near lane, on the bottom of your screen, it's Rosary of Aurora, which is touched first.
Rosary had a great swim last night and had throughout the whole meet. I expect big things from them again today.
It is very tight here as they come back, and they'll begin for the second phase of the medley relay.
The breaststroke, I think, is the key leg of the whole relay. It takes the longest time to swim, but if you have a great breaststroker, you can pass a lot of people. And I think you can watch the girl here in the middle. She's really starting to catch up.
Well, you see as well on the outsides, they've got the lead. It's Rosary on the bottom of your screen in lane 7, and also Palatine in lane number 2 is right there. But it looks like Rosary has got the lead at the moment in lane number 7. They came in having qualified in the prelims yesterday with a time of 1:53.61.
They were 12th yesterday, and right now they've got a good shot at 7th place. We'll see how strong their butterfly leg is and their freestyle leg.
Again in lane 2 for Palatine, Arletta Tia, the freshman, currently in 2nd place behind the squad from Rosary.
This is going to turn out to be a really exciting race here. Everybody's starting to bunch together again. They're starting to catch up with Rosary, and the freestyle leg is going to be the most important. That's the one we'll finish.
We come down to the sprints now, and again it's on the outsides. It looks dead even right now. Palatine and Rosary as they bunch up, and now in the center you see Crystal Lake Central coming on in lane number 5.
Wow, this is exciting. Good turn coming out of the turn here, and the fans are going crazy.
It is going to be a dramatic finish and very, very close. You see them nip and tuck in lane 2 and 3, Palatine and Naperville Central. And let's see, touching first in lane number 3 is Naperville Central, the team of Mackey, Ryan, Baroni, and Wagoner. Coming in first place, Naperville Central in very, very tight fashion, a time of 1 minute and 53 seconds, just barely coming ahead of the team from Palatine High School in lane number 2, 1:53.06, so 0.06 of a second, the difference between finishing in first here in the consolation and finishing in second. Of course, we have coming up now the championship heat. The state record in this competition for the 200-yard medley, 1 minute 48 seconds, .33. Let's take a look at how they will stack up here from lane to lane for the championship match. In lane number 2, it is Rockford-Guilford. In lane number 3, it's the team of Hinsdale Central, which finished 7th in this event last year. Lane number 4, West Chicago Community High School. They finished 5th a year ago. Now, the host team from New Trier here in Winnetka, 3rd in state in 1990. Lane number 6, Naperville North. They had a time of 151.44 in the prelims. And in lane number 7, the squad from Oak Park River Forest. They had a time of 152.51 in the prelims yesterday.
This should be really exciting. New Trier's been the leading team all year long. They've had the fastest time. Last night they swam really well, much better than they had all year, but West Chicago gets out with a great backstroke. Look for the backstroke leg to be West Chicago's, and then New Trier has the state champion breaststroker from last year, Jenny Grable, and she ought to catch up a little bit. This ought to be really exciting. What a race.
West Chicago's backstroker is Erin Myers. You see her adjusting her goggles right there, getting set here for state championship competition. You start with the back, then the breast, the fly, and the free, as the swimmers now jump into the water to dampen their spirits, perhaps only the opposite. Get psyched up and get ready to go.
They are ready. Nervous time.
Many of these individuals, this is the meet that they have been gearing up for all season long. Others going on to national competition next week.
Mr. Starter, take your mark.
And the championship phase of the 200 medley is underway.
Notice how the backstroker starts out and they hold their breath and they go half full of length underwater.
Excellent start for the team in lane number 4, West Chicago, as they will take the turn initially.
What a backstroker she is. She has a great turn, and now watch Jenny Grable here. She has a step start. She starts at the back of the block, and she'll move forward just as the girl gets there.
Well, you see the first to leap off comes from Oak Park River Forest, actually. Beth Glore, who is the breaststroker for this squad. She's a junior, and in lane number 7 at the bottom of your screen. But you see now in lane number 4 out of West Chicago, Becky Manning, the freshman, is currently in the lead and taking the initial turn. Behind her is Jenny Burrish out of Hinsdale Central in lane number 2.
And you can see Jenny Grable starting to catch up. Kristen Nuida is the breaststroker for New Trier, butterflyer for New Trier.
And they leap off in
all
lane,
3 of them.
Yep, lane number 4. It's Tori Gilgallen, the junior for West Chicago, which has the early advantage here in the 3rd phase of the medley relay. But nearby out of Winnetka, Kristen Nuida is right there behind her and takes the turn second.
What a race. What a race between these 3 great teams.
West Chicago in the lead, but look at Hinsdale Central coming up, and Becca Hoffey coming back to help her team spirit away. But it's still West Chicago with the advantage now as Kate Ryan jumps off in the sprints. In lane number 3, Hinsdale Central has a freshman, Natalie Rarick, right behind her. And also lane number 5, you see Kristen Horvitz out of New Trier High School. As they come back for the final lap, West Chicago still has a very slight lead. Kate Ryan over Natalie Larrick in lane number 3. It's lane number 4 and lane number 3. Hinsdale and West Chicago.
West Chicago.
Yep. They come home in first place and are the champions of the 200-yard medley relay event after taking 5th 1 year ago. And you see Kate Ryan, the sophomore, who beat out a teammate who was on the champion team of the past, their 5th place team last year, Jennifer Babrick, enjoying this. And there you see it, a time of 148.68.
Wow, what a race.
Now let's take a look at how this race finished, because what a spectacular end to this.
Yeah, and that's a freshman over there in lane 3 finishing for Hinsdale, but she just didn't have enough left at the very end. Wow, what a fantastic finish.
A matter of just 0.2 of a second separating the champion and the 2nd place finisher. We'll have the awards coming up as well as the 200 freestyle event, so stay right here. An exuberant Katie Ryan. Kate Ryan, the sophomore from the champion of the 200-yard medley relay, West Chicago. Let's take a look at how they stacked up here. Finishing in 12th place, Crystal Lake Central. In 11th, Libertyville. Aurora Rosary in 10th place. Lake Forest in 9th. Palatine, 8th place. 7th place goes to Naperville Central. And now the championship heat In 6th place, the team from Oak Park River Forest. Rockford Guilford finishing in 5th place. Naperville North in 4th. New Trier, the host school here, finishing in 3rd place. The runner-up in the 200-yard medley, Hinsdale Central. And the champions, West Chicago Community High School. And right now, let's take a look at the 2nd place team, Hinsdale Central, receiving their medals. They were 7th in this event 1 year ago. Robertson, Burrish, Hoffey, and Larrick receiving their medals and taking their stances. So many here have so far today, just one event, but all of the placers here come up with medals. And of course, for team competition, you wind up with trophies, and as well, you get points for the team competition. So West Chicago Community comes up with 32 points for winning this event. You get double the number you would for an individual event when you win a medley relay. And as well, every placer from 1 to 12 gets some kind of credit toward the overall team standings. That's
why I'm so glad Sports Vision showing all the 12th place swims today. There's Lee Kenneke from New Trier, who was so important in the athletic program at New Trier, presenting the awards to West Chicago. What a fine job they did today.
Well, outstanding indeed. Aaron Myers, a senior, Becky Manning, a freshman, Corey Gilgallen, a junior, and the sophomore Kate Ryan. After a 5th place finish a year ago, they win the championship of the 200-yard medley relay. The 200 free consolation will be coming up momentarily. So the individuals who have a chance to finish from 7th through 12th place will be taking their marks on the block. And let's take a look at the lane assignments. In lane number 2 out of Lake Forest High School, it is sophomore Megan Kraus. In lane number 3, Kim Vender out of New Trier. In lane 4, Heather Potkin out of Dunlap. In lane number 5, Courtney Schuller, the junior from Hoffman Estates out of Homewood Flossmoor. In lane number 6, it is Beth Updegraff. She's a junior. And in lane number 7, Julie Bancroft, the junior out of Springfield Southeast. Now this event is kind of the in-between. You can't be an outright sprinter, but you can't pace yourself too much or you're going to find yourself fall behind a bit.
Yeah, it's really turned out to be a sprint race. About 20 years ago, they called this a distance event, and now they call it a sprint. And you'll see why in a second. It is fast.
Well, the swimmers now take their marks.
Mr. Starter, take your mark.
Now that's about the only time it gets quiet here at the natatorium. And you see in the bottom of your screen in lane number 7, Julie Bancroft had the quick start, but now in lane number 4, Heather Potkin, she's just a freshman out of Dunlap High School. She's got the lead as they come out of the first turn.
I bet Heather is excited for this race. A freshman down in this competition and this kind of pressure, it's amazing.
And she'll hit as well initially, and the second turn with a time of 26.93, a split time, and she has got the lead right now. In second at the moment out of Hoffman Estates is Courtney Schuller, and to her right there at the top of the screen, you see the sophomore Kim Vender out of New Trier. And as they take their third turn now and come back the other way, this will be the completion of 100 yards. Halfway through, it is Heather Potkin, the freshman, in the lead.
She's out about the same as she was last night, but she looks a lot stronger than she did last night in the preliminaries.
Courtney Schuller in lane number 5, currently in second place, and Kim Vender currently in third, but it's Heather Potkin who's got a pretty sizable lead now as she takes the turn.
She's just pulling away now, and her stroke looks stronger and stronger, and she's pulling all the way back. She's just pulling away. She's almost got a two-length body length lead.
And she'll take the turn once again with 50 yards to go here in the 200-yard freestyle. Event number 2 of the state championships. This is consolation round competition. Heather Potkin is in the lead right now, and currently in second place in lane number 5, it is Courtney Schuller.
Courtney was 5th last year, and she's just struggling to hang on now. She's got that leg kick going. Now she's getting stronger. But the story of this race is Heather Potkin.
Potkin coming down to the finish now. She has a body and a half-length lead, and she will touch initially. Second place will be tighter. It looks like Julie Bancroft out of Springfield Southeast winds up in second place. Third goes to Courtney Schuller in lane number 5. But remember, this is the consolation round of competition, and there you see the winning time, 1 minute 54 seconds. and 77/100. She winds up in 7th place here in this competition, and right behind her there at 156.53. So you see a sizable advantage indeed for the freshman out of Dunlap High School.
As you noted, you can't move up here. If she'd done that time last night, she would have been in the finals.
Now we have the championship coming up for the 200-yard freestyle. The state record, 1 minute, 49 seconds, and 67/100. Let's set the lanes right now and show you who's where. In lane number 2 out of Wheaton Central, it is Courtney Coleman, a freshman. In lane number 3, a junior out of Peoria Richwoods, Kim DeCroy. In lane number 4, the defending champ in this event, senior Greta Stephenson out of Hinsdale Central. Lane number 5, finishing 4th 1 year ago, the junior Colleen Smith from Hinsdale Central. Lane number 6, a junior from Wheaton North High School, it is Jamie White. And in lane number 7, a senior out of Naperville North, Dee Dee Cooper.
Dee Dee was 6th last year.
Mr. Starter, take your mark.
And the championship portion of the 200-yard freestyle is underway. Again, take a look at the center of your screen. That's generally where the leader is going to be at the outset. Greta Stephenson, the defending champ, trying to do it again, and they take the turn pretty close.
I think Greta's chief competition here is going to come from her teammate, Colleen Smith, who was 4th last year. And, boy, it's too close to call right now.
Lane number 3, Kim DeCroy of Peoria Richwoods is right there, but it's a tight one with Dee Dee Cooper coming last to make the turn, but very, very tight. You see the red caps of Hinsdale Central, Stephenson and Smith virtually neck and neck, and Jamie White right with them. In fact, it looks like now it's a 4-individual race at the moment, but currently you see in lane number 4, Stephenson takes a slight lead. But Smith is right there with her.
Yeah, what a battle they've got going. Teammates, they know each other so well. Good turns.
And they're pretty much neck and neck. Stephenson, a member of the National Honor Society, member of the Latin Club. She's a board member for that at her school, and she will make the team initially, but Colleen Smith is right there with her. And you see in 3rd place, in lane number 6 toward the bottom of your screen, Jamie White, but it is Greta Stephenson currently in the lead, and she leads by about a half a length now over Colleen Smith.
Looks like Greta's just taken over this race now, and she's building on what she did at the beginning. They were both out about the same. This is where Tom Shear wanted them. Now Greta's kind of taken over.
Record held by Stacy Cassidy of Evanston back in the early 80s. It was set in the prelims, and as they make the final touch, Greta Stephenson has the lead. It is Colleen Smith in 2nd place, but Greta Stephenson leads by about 1 full length right now as she comes to the finish here of the 200-yard freestyle event. It is Greta Stephenson who finishes first, and it looks like 2nd place, maybe Courtney Coleman at the top of the screen, but Greta Stephenson successfully defends her championship in the 200-yard freestyle event. Her time in lane number 4, 152.98. 2nd place does go to Courtney Coleman, just a freshman out of Wheaton Central, and 3rd place goes in lane number 3 to Kim DeCroy. And let's take another look at how it came to a close.
Greta's just building on her to the lead that she had gotten. Strong leg kick, really pulling hard through the water, and the race was hers. Look at the race for 2nd, though, with the freshman taking it, Courtney Coleman in lane 2 at the top of the screen there.
So the champ is Greta Stephenson, who'll be back to show you the awards and as well at the 200 individual medley event coming up. Ron Gleason back with Bruce Rodbury here at New Trier High School in Winnetka, where we've just completed the 200-yard freestyle event. Let's take a look at how they finished. In the consolation results, finishing in 12th place, Megan Krause out of Lake Forest. 11th place, Beth Updegraff out of Homewood Flossmoor. Kim Bender from New Trier finishing 10th, and Courtney Schuler in 9th place. Julie Bancroft in 8th. And Heather Potkin out of Dunlap finishing in 7th place. Now the championship results: in 6th place out of Naperville North, Dee Dee Cooper. In 5th place, Colleen Smith of Hinsdale Central. Jamie White of Wheaton North in 4th. Kim DeCroy of Peoria Richwoods in 3rd. Courtney Coleman of Wheaton Central, the freshman, who actually competed in cross country as well this fall, finishes 2nd. And in 1st place, the defending champ, successful in coming back for another title, is Greta Stephenson. There you see Greta getting congratulations and about to receive her medal.
From her coach, Carol Bobo.
Now her time, I guess, last year when she won it was a bit quicker, but she beat the freshman here by nearly 2 full seconds.
An outstanding race.
Stephenson will be back. She has some victory opportunities and aspirations coming up later on here in the state championship meet. And of course she will get as well 16 points for her Hinsdale Central team, which is the team expected to win the state championship. Now we've got the 200-yard individual medley consolations coming up, and let's take a look how they set lane by lane. In lane number 2 out of Naperville Central, it is junior Chris Mackey. In lane number 3 out of Maine West High School, Rachel Baster, a senior. Stephanie Toth out of Waubonsie Valley, the senior, in lane number 4. Misty Lorich out of Rosary, a freshman, in lane number 5. Jillian Randall in lane number 6. She's a junior and a sophomore. On the bottom of your screen, Amanda Cole out of Naperville Central. She is in lane number 7, having had a preliminary time of 2:13.56 to qualify here for the consolation portion of the event.
Chris Mackey's quite a story. She was the last place finisher last year. There were 32 girls to swim this event last year, and she was 32nd.
Charles McCarthy, the meet referee, to sound the whistle for the racers to take their marks.
Mr. Starter, take your mark.
And we are underway. The first event here, the individual medley, will be the butterfly.
Yeah, the first stroke is the butterfly. It's probably the most grueling. They do 50 yards of butterfly, then the backstroke, 50 yards, then the breaststroke, and then the freestyle. Different muscle groups. You'll see the lead change a couple times. Girls, our butterflyers obviously will be out in front, but they might be weak in the breaststroke or the backstroke.
You're looking at Jillian Randall, the junior, who touches first and has the early lead and comes back now with the backstroke with the edge. But behind her in lane number 4 is Stephanie Toth out of Waubonsie Valley.
Yeah, Stephanie's a good breaststroker, and Jillian is quite a butterflyer and a backstroker. So I expect Jillian to be ahead for the first 100 yards here.
And you see there in lane number 4, Stephanie Toth. Looks like she is starting to take the lead here in the backstroke. This is her strong event. Indeed, she has the advantage over Jillian Randall, and Toth will touch first and turn around and get set for the breaststroke here as she has the lead at the turn, but Randall is right behind her.
This is where things start to even out a little bit, and you'll see the breaststrokers start to catch up. And as the race gets closer, the fans get louder. It ought to be pretty wild in here.
It is very close. You see them there. It is Toth in the lead, but Randall is very close behind. Toth takes the turn, and she will finish her final lap here in breaststroke portion of the individual medley.
And you can hear that crowd coming up now because the race is getting closer. Here's a good shot of the breaststroke.
And you see some change here as Misty Lorich out of Rosary, the freshman, comes up, and it looks like she is right there and very, very tight. In fact, she has taken the lead. Lorich likes the breaststroke portion. Now we go to the sprint part, the freestyle event, and it is currently Lorich who has got the lead. Behind her now it's Toth, and in third place, Jillian Randall in lane number 6.
This is turning out to be quite a race here, with the freshman just turning first here.
Lorich got the lead in the freestyle event, but Toth is right there with her. In third place at the moment in lane 6 is Randall. Here they come down the stretch. It is Lorich in the lead, but Toth is right there with her. It is Lorich who takes the championship here of consolation play, and Stephanie Toth lines up in second place in lane number 4. The time for the victory here, well, it says 11:01. That cannot be right. Oh, 2:11:01. That could be right.
Yeah, that's a fabulous time. It's almost a full second faster than she did last night in the preliminaries.
And it's about 3/10 faster than the second place finisher here, Toth, in the consolation.
Misty Lorich is just a freshman and really came on in the breaststroke there. You can see how many times a race like that changes. It's just amazing.
Now let's take a look at the championship portion of the 200-yard individual medley. You see the state record in the event, 2 minutes, 3 seconds, and 96 hundredths. Here's how they stack up in lane number 2 out of Palatine High School. Deirdre Gieseler, last year finished in 9th place. Lisa Cole, the junior out of Rockford Guilford, in lane number 3. Lane number 4, Ann Campy, the junior out of Decatur MacArthur, and she has been a star in championship competition. Jenny Grable, a sophomore out of New Trier in lane number 5. And in lane number 6, Gretchen Verdorn, a junior out of St. Charles. And the one you'll see at the bottom of your screen, Ellen Frauman, in lane number 7. She's out of Deerfield, a sophomore.
This ought to be quite a race. Lisa Cool in lane 3 is a butterfly. Ann Campy's a defending champion.
And a freestyle event for Campy. Long distance freestyle. We're off here in the individual medley championship competition.
You can see Lisa Cool in lane 3. She's the butterfly champion from a year ago, and she's taking the lead. But again, as we saw in the consolation finals, we expect to see the lead change 2 or 3 times.
Campy won this event 1 year ago, but at the moment it is Cool who has the advantage and very tight for second place. It looks like lane 7, Ellen Frauman, may be the one currently in second place. But you see right there the leader, Lisa Cool, the junior, is in front in lane number 3.
By body length here, Jenny Grable in the backstroke, and Ann Campy it looks like she's moved up to second place now. Jenny Grable is a breaststroker though, and we'll expect to see her move up. And Ellen in lane 7 here is apparently not a backstroker because she's moved down a little bit.
Well, Cool is still in the advantage right now, but barely at the moment over Ann Campy. Cool has a good athletic background. Her sister plays soccer at the University of Wisconsin. Campy, they say, was not really prepping for the championship. She's more concerned about Olympic trials next year, but it looks like she loves the breaststroke because Campy's right there with Cool. And in fact, not far behind currently in lane number 5, Jenny Grable.
This is turning out to be quite a race with Ann Campy just starting to take the lead now. She's our defending champion, but Jenny Grable's right with her, and so is Lisa Cool.
Very tight here as they make the touch and they come down to the stretch drive. We get the freestyle portion of the competition, and Campy now starts to take about a lead by a little bit more than a neck. In fact, she appears to be pulling away just a bit here. In fact, she is now with Cool in second place along with Jenny Grable right there. It looks like the battle may be for second, although it's a half a body length lead for Ann Campy, going for a second straight championship in the individual medley. Here they come toward the finish. It is Campy and Cool in second. It is Campy will finish in first place. Cool will finish second, and Grable will finish third. Very strong times. 2:05.06 here for the 200-yard individual medley.
That's the same way they finished last year. Same order exactly, with Ann being first, Lisa being second, and Jenny Grable being third.
So Ann Campy, you see there, enjoying her championship, shared by 2 others there at the 200-yard individual medley. And we'll be back to take a look at the awards and as well have our next event coming up. It'll be the 50-yard freestyle, so stay right here. We had a terrific finish here in the 200-yard individual medley championship. There you see Ann Campy, the defending champ, finishing first ahead of Lisa Cool and Jenny Grable. Let's take a look now at how the consolation results looked. In 12th place, Amanda Cole. Chris Mackey finished in 11th place. Rachel Baster finished in 10th. Jillian Randall in 9th place. Stephanie Toth in 8th. And the winner of the consolation event, Misty Lorch, finishing 7th overall out of Rosarita. Here's the way the championships closed out. Ellen Frauman out of Deerfield High School finishing in 6th place. St. Charles Gretchen Verdorn finishing in 5th. Deirdre Giesler out of Palatine in 4th. Jenny Grable out of New Trier High School in 3rd. Lisa Cool out of Rockford Guilford finishing in 2nd like she did a year ago. And the champion of the 200-yard individual medley out of Decatur MacArthur is Ann Campy takes the crown for the 2nd consecutive year. And the award of the medal now to Ann Campy, who's used to this. She's been through this before. She plans to compete next week up in Minneapolis when the, what's it called, the U.S. Nationals are going to be competing. U.S. Open event coming up next week, and then next year she'll be involved in the Olympic trials, hoping to get there as well. So the champion, Ann Campy, picks up 16 points for Decatur MacArthur for winning this championship in the overall team standings. Now let's set the next event for you, the 50-yard freestyle event in the consolation competition for 7th through 12th place overall. In lane number 2 out of Hinsdale Central, it is sophomore Meredith Quast. In lane number 3, a junior Flavia Ray out of Urbana High School. Lane number 4, Natalie Larrick, a freshman. We saw her in competition in a relay in the earlier going. You also play soccer out of Hinsdale Central. Kate Ryan, the sophomore, in lane number 5 out of West Chicago Community High School. In lane number 6, it is Debbie Lumen, a senior out of Palatine High School. And in lane number 7 out of Bremen in Midlothian, it is Joy Gallagher. She is a junior. Her preliminary time yesterday, 24.96 to qualify to get this far. Kate Ryan, a junior state champ. You'll see her in lane number 5. She is a champ in the 50-yard freestyle event. An all-out sprint. This is just a matter of power and speed and a strong leg kick to get yourself going for just 2 laps down the pool.
It's a start and a finish. The start is so important in this race, and it's the intensity is unbelievable.
And we are underway in the 50-yard freestyle event. On the bottom of your screen, Joy Gallagher out of Bremen got off to a very strong start. It is very tight. It appears indeed that Gallagher has got the slight advantage here as they take the turn. The next door is Debbie Lumen, the senior.
It's so hard to pick this race. You can't tell until the end. The finish is so important. The start's so important. And
watch Natalie Larrick. It looks like Larrick is touched first. Yep, in lane number 4 out of Hinsdale Central. And the Hinsdale Central Red Devils get their second individual championship in just 4 events overall. The freshman, who also plays soccer here for Hinsdale Central, comes up with the championship of the consolation bracket. And I'm going to correct myself, since we're in consolation, no 16 points there, but she winds up with a 7th place finish. You see Debbie Lumen, the senior,
look at this
in second place. Very tight.
Look at this finish, and you can see why we have electric timing, because we wouldn't be able to split it up otherwise.
1/10 of a second, the difference. 24.7 is the winning time in the consolation for Natalie Larrick. Now the championship event, you see the record, 23 seconds, .15. And let's take a look at how we'll go lane by lane. In lane number 2 out of West Chicago Community, a senior, Erin Myers. Lane number 3 out of Naperville North, J.J. Bontrager. In lane number 4, a 2nd place finisher last year out of Mount Zion, Tina Hinton, a senior. Watch her along with this girl. In lane number 5, Sarah Randag, a senior out of Sacred Heart Griffin in Springfield. Claudine Chio out of Maine East High School in lane number 6. And Erin Kilburn, the senior, in lane number 7 out of Naperville Central, her 4th year to state. She finished 5th in 1990.
This is a big race for Tina Hinton. She came in as a favorite last year and got 2nd, and she's a favorite again this year.
Wound up 2nd to Heidi Toft of Evanston, who's now swimming at Arizona State. It was a difference of 100th of a second, and that was it. We are off, and watch the center lanes. Now, Hinton normally gets off to a tremendous start, and it looks like she has the slight advantage here in lane number 4. But next door, in lane 5, it is Sarah Randag.
Looks like it's Tina's race this year. Her goal is to set a state record. This is one of the oldest records there are, and I'll be watching the clock to see how close she is to that record.
Now it is Hinton and Randag finishing 1st and 2nd.
23.51. Wow. Tina, what a swim she had this year. Mount Zion. She just signed a letter of intent to go to Florida State on Tuesday, and that's where she's going to be spending her next 4 years of swimming.
Well, the time is not quite 4/10 of a second behind the all-time state championship record. And let's take a look again at the turn here, where we pick it up in the 50-yard freestyle. This is very dramatic.
This is where she really picks up. What a turn she has. She's off the wall fast, and she must have just such powerful legs, because she got off to almost a full body length after the turn there. And then she just puts her head down. This is a race you don't get many chances to breathe. She took 1 breath there, and then she goes the rest of the way without a breath. What a finish.
See how they ride high in the water as well to get that good speed, the leg kick going. And the champion is Tina Hinton, after finishing as the runner-up 1 year ago. We'll be back, take a look at the awards, and of course have the diving event coming up as we continue from the state championships here on Sports Channel. Let's take another look at the finish here, the sprint to the finish in the 50 free.
Look at Tina's kick there, and she finishes with a straight arm, and that's always what you want to do, is have that arm straight.
You see Randag finishing second and J.J. Bontrager out of Naperville North finishing third. Here's the way the consolation results stack up. Joy Gallagher out of Bremen High School finishing in 12th place. Meredith Quast out of Hinsdale Central in 11th. Flavia Ray out of Urbana finishing in 10th. From West Chicago, Kate Ryan in 9th place. Debbie Lumen of Palatine in 8th. And Natalie Larrick, the freshman out of Hinsdale Central, finishing 7th. Now in the championship results, Erin Kilburn out of Naperville Central finishing in 6th place. Claudine Chio out of Maine East in 5th. Erin Myers out of West Chicago Community in 4th place. J.J. Bontrager out of Naperville North in 3rd place. Sarah Randag out of Sacred Heart in 2nd. And Tina Hinton from Mount Zion is the champion of the 50-yard freestyle event. You see awards being presented now for the various competitors as the medals are being presented as we continue on. This is the 3rd place finisher just receiving her medal, J.J. Bontrager. 24 seconds and 12 1/100ths. And the next medal you see will be awarded to the 2nd place finisher, Sarah Randag. They've had quite a competition going. Hinton and Randag, they're good friends away from the pool as well as in the pool. And there you see her time, 23.71 for Sarah Randag. And the champ after finishing is the runner-up a year ago, Tina Hinton, the senior out of Mount Zion High School, as she comes up now to receive her medal.
She'll be swimming in the Olympic trials in the spring. And that's a big goal for all these girls that have made the finals here. Just continue their swimming, keep going on to the Olympic trials. Every kid's dream is involved in sports.
And to win a championship always is a dream, and for Tina Hinton, indeed a dream come true. You see some slight bit of tears coming from her eyes as she has a chance to take a championship. We've got diving competition coming up next, so stay right here. The state championships in Winnetka. Welcome back to New Trier High School. It is time for the 5th event here, the championships. It is diving competition. And let's take a look at the order in the initial round here, how they're going to start off. We're going to have 3 rounds of diving here in the championships. Carrie Zarcy will be the first one to dive out of Rockford, Auburn. Tiffany Cutinelli out of Palatine Frem will dive after her. Then Lydia Ball out of Champaign Centennial. Jenny Baker out of Granite City. Lauren Winger from Evanston. And Courtney Schell from Glenbrook South. Now in all there'll be 13 individuals diving here. You see Libby Dietrich will be diving following that crew of New Trier. Then Molly Searing of St. Charles. Joanne Mock of Oak Forest. Jane McGrath from HF. St. Charles, Catherine Hart, and Kenzie Zeller out of Rockford Guilford. Now the scoring on this actually began yesterday in the preliminary round. This is pretty much cumulative, and there were some surprises. Zarcy is a 2-time state champion here, and she had some troubles yesterday but came on strong in her final dive. She actually changed from the original optional dive she had planned to a different one, and she was able to stick it successfully to get herself up to 2nd place overall in the standings. But the current leader is Jenny Baker out of Granite City.
And Jenny's a great diver.
The defending state champion, Carrie Zarcy, 2 times a champ and 1 time in 2nd place. She has had a tremendous career. Her 4th year overall here at the state competition in the diving championships. She will be doing an inward dive here from the pike position. This has a degree of difficulty of 1.5. This is one of the required dives.
That's off to a good start there. She got plenty of height and went in real straight. Her coach was a little concerned that she'd get off to a good start. She is able to get off to a good start here, and you'll notice that she has good height, stretches for the water, and straight as an arrow towards the bottom of the pool.
The scoring shows a total of 7 different judges accounting for things. The highest she got was a 9-0, the lowest is 7-0, and they will throw out the 2 highest and 2 lowest scores and then take the other 3, add them together, and multiply by the degree of difficulty to add the points. This now is Tiffany Cutinelli out of Palatine. Back dive.
Awards, 7.
And her highest score will be an 8-0. 2 judges gave her that. She also gets a...
Yeah, she was 6 after the first round of diving here. And
Lydia Ball, reverse.
Looks like one of the judges gave her a 1.5. Very low score, but that'll be thrown out.
wow, you're right. But we have a pause here, and maybe that was entered incorrectly into the computer there.
Well, that would tend to make sense. The disparity between a high of an 8-0 and a low of a 1.5 is a bit more than you would expect. Of course, either way. Of course, now, if that does make a difference, let's say the judge gave her a 7.5, that would not be a score they throw out. So it is important to be sure that the scoring is indeed correct.
Have the fun. Okay? Have the fun.
Tiffany Cutinelli waiting on that result. And Lydia Ball will be the next contestant, but we have a delay as they kind of discuss things here. Diving competition at the state championships, certainly not easy. If you tend to be a bit younger, there's more nerves involved, especially perhaps if it's your first time here. And I imagine having coached 7 state champions here, you would be well aware of how you have to handle perhaps a freshman as opposed to a senior in terms of gearing up and getting ready for state competition.
Yeah, they're a lot different, and their confidence levels are a lot different as well. Diving is such a strange event that way. With a race, you're in and out, you're done. You only have one thing to concentrate. And diving is made up of 11 races. Everyone's a little bit different. Everyone needs a little bit different coaching. The girl has some time to come out and think, and sometimes that's dangerous.
Okay. No, we still have a dangerous delay. You kind of wonder here for the next individual, Lydia Ball. She has to wait around to take this dive after there'd been kind of a rhythm set with the first 2. She has to delay, and again, Ball is a freshman. So this could affect her, perhaps, this delay. We'll have to wait and see. Now, keep in mind that the way this competition works, the first round, which was held yesterday in the prelims, there are 5 events, some of which deal with optional, some of which are required dives, and there are 3 events in the second round, and then 3 here in the preliminary advancing on to the finals competition. Now we're set to go with Lydia Ball, the freshman. 1.5 reverse.
That's a nice dive for a freshman. She looked a little shaky at the beginning. She didn't get the high knee rise that you'd like to see. And probably just tucked out. Yeah, there she came out of it and saved a little bit, and you saw a little bit of a twist at the end there. She probably used all of her best dives at the beginning just to make it into these finals. She qualified 5th.
And the score she's getting, a high of 6.5, a low of 4.5. Those will be thrown out. There are several 5-0s and as well as 6-0 and a 5-5. Here now is Jenny Baker, who has the overall lead at the moment, a senior out of Granite City. She'll be doing a forward dive from the pike position.
Wow.
Jenny Baker gets certainly the attentive response from the crowd. They enjoy that dive.
She's diving so confidently now, and you can see that she gets a great height on the pike and straight into the water, toes pointed, all the things that the officials are looking for.
She gets a trio of 8.5s, 3 7.5s, also an 8.0, so she scores extremely well. And now here is Lauren Winger, a junior out of Evanston High School. She'll be doing a forward dive with a 1/2 twist.
A little bit too far away from the board, I think, but a little bit trouble with that twist. Lauren was 5th last year and has moved up to currently in 3rd place.
6 1/2, 6.
See how far away from the board she is, and her legs are a little bit spread as she goes into the water.
Her scores 6.5, the high, 6.0, the low, 3 of each. Here now is Courtney Schell out of Glenbrook South High School, a sophomore. And you see that half twist on the forward dive.
Courtney was here last year and was 18th, didn't score any points, but the experience is so important when you come in as a freshman. And she has a little trouble with her twisting dive here. Normally the girls look down the arm there and as they twist, she's again a little bit away from the board and a little bit of trouble with that twisting dive.
That dive has a degree of difficulty of 1.8 on the overall scale, which means it's a little difficult for the required dives. And here now is Libby Dietrich, a senior, doing a forward dive from the pike.
Wow, good dive for Libby. Libby had some back problems last year and didn't get a chance to dive in the state competition, but she really nailed that one.
7.5 her high, 6.0 the low, couple 3 in fact, 7.0s for her score.
Yeah, she was a little bit away from the board too, but she looked, from our angle, looked great.
Out of St. Charles High School, this is Molly Searing, a senior. She will do a forward dive.
Forward dive in the straight position there. It's not as easy as it looks. The old swan dive. She didn't get it up as high as she probably would like to have gotten up, but then she nailed it after that. Hands together and squeezes it right to the bottom.
3 7.5s out of that. Her low is 6.0, and now here is Joanne Mock out of Oak Forest, the senior, doing a forward dive. Another straight dive here.
Over a little bit. You can tell from that entry that she was over a little bit, and I'm sure Joanne's a little unhappy with that dive. She's 10th place coming into this competition.
Well, and that will hurt her score. She gets a low of 4.0, pair of 4.5s. Her high is a 6.5. She has 2 5.0s in there as well.
Rushed it a little bit too much, a little bit anxious.
Senior Jane McGrath will do a forward dive now from the pike position. Let's take another look.
This is a nice dive. She gets up and touches her toes and then back down real quickly. Really takes good, strong muscles for that.
Here now is Catherine Hart, a senior from St. Charles High School. She will do a forward straight dive. Well, that was from the pike.
Yes. She has on the sheet that we have here a straight position.
8, 6, 6, 6, 6.5.
Well, the high score is an 8.0. The low score for her is a 6.0, and a couple of 6.5s in there as well.
They might have changed that position.
Welcome back to New Trier High School for the final round of the championship diving competition. Let's set the order in which the girls will be diving. Zarcy, the defending champ, in fact, the 2-time champ, followed by Cutinelli, Ball, Baker, Winger, and Shell. Then you'll see Dietrich and Searing, Mock, McGrath, Hart, and Zeller in that order for the finals. In all, 11 rounds of diving over the last 2 days, and Carrie Zarcy, we mentioned, will be the one leading it off. She is trying to become the 3rd 3-time champ in the history of this event for the Illinois High School Association. She has had a tremendous career. In fact, she's planning to graduate in mid-year. She's going to be attending Michigan. She announced that earlier this week.
To dive better. She had an off day yesterday, but today she's really nailing her dives, and it'll be interesting to see it. She's tightened up the race a lot. It's not the 30 points it was coming into the finals.
And we're in 1.5 somersault now from the pike position.
She nailed it. Her last dive of her high school career, and she really nailed it. What a job.
Her last and maybe her best in a very difficult event.
This is one of her favorite dives. Her coach isn't worried about this one. Look at how tight she tucks and straight into the water, nails that. A little twist at the end.
Actually, her lowest score is a 6.5, but she does get a couple of 8.5s. In fact, 3 of them, 2 8.0s and a 7.5. Here now is Tiffany Cutinelli, a senior from Fremd High School. She'll be doing a 1.5 twist somersault.
That twisting dive is so difficult to do, and she did a nice job. Tiffany was 10th last year, and has really improved her diving tremendously. Look at this twist. They have to start twisting as soon as they come off the board. Tight twist and try to get that in the water without a splash. Very difficult to do.
Planning to attend either Cal Santa Barbara or San Diego, so she's heading west after this year, and now a freshman who will be around for a while here in Illinois, Lydia Ball. And she'll be doing a forward 1.5 somersault with a twist.
Lydia dove so well yesterday to get into the finals, and this experience is going to be so important for her. Look at the replay here. She had a little trouble on her very last dive. It's a twisting dive. She just barely gets it into the water, but I expect big things from her in the next couple of years.
Now from Granite City, Jenny Banker was the leader after competition in the opening days events. She was the #2 sectional qualifier behind Zarcy. The senior will do a back 1 somersault with a 1.5 twist. Forward dive, a degree of difficulty of 2.3, not easy.
Jenny is diving so confidently today and yesterday. You can tell just watching her that she has confidence written all over her face, and I bet she'll be relieved when this competition is over today.
Finished 3rd in state last year.
Wow, nice dive. Nice job of diving. She's a senior, and I'm sure she's glad this is over. She'll keep her eye on the scoreboard here to see how she finishes up, though. Reverse dive with a twist here, and points her toes into the water, and wow, nice job. And I think she's our new state champion, as well as Carrie Zarcy dove at the end. Jenny dove well enough to win.
Now Lauren Winger, a junior from Evanston, should do a back 1 somersault and 1.5 twist. Winger finished 5th in this event last year.
And she's well coached too. She's from Evanston High School, and they've always had some great divers in there. She leans in a little bit, and you saw it from the start. But again, she finishes up with a twisting dive, and then not quite over far enough, but a nice job.
Well coached by Jim Bleck, who's in his 26th year as diving coach at Evanston High School. Here now is sophomore Courtney Schell. She'll do a forward 1 somersault and a couple of twists. Very difficult.
Yeah, very difficult. And again, Courtney is a sophomore. She was 18th last year, and the experience really helped her. She's in the finals this year, and you can tell a little bit on there. She had a little difficulty with her twist. She got around okay, just barely finished the twist. In fact, she was corkscrewing as she went into the water.
Now Libby Dietrich, senior from New Trier. 1 somersault and a couple of twists.
Well, everybody's saving their twisting dives for last. Shows you how difficult they are. Libby's had a great meet. She had little back problems last year, and here's the replay on her dive. She twists around. Probably should have started her twist a little bit sooner, and then she finishes the twist fine and into the water. Many
competitors save those toughest ones for last because they want to be sure to get here to the championship round. Molly Searing now is a senior. She'll be doing a forward 1.5 somersault with 1 twist, and the degree of difficulty for this listed at 2.2.
Nice job on that dive for Molly. She was 4th last year, and coming into the final, she was 4th again today.
Searing was a gymnast when she first entered high school, but St. Charles at the time of her freshman year did not have gymnastics, so she switched over to swimming and diving. Now Joanne Mock is getting set to step up for her dive. She is a senior. Mock will do 2 somersaults from the back and the tuck position.
Ooh.
Now some trouble with the entry on that dive.
She got probably more height than she wanted to. She really gets up in the air on this dive, and then kind of over twists. She's still twisted and never gets a chance to come out.
Awards, 3.5.
Yep, and 3 5s and a 3-0. There are 4 3-5s plus a 4-0 for Mock. And now Jane McGrath out of Homewood Flossmoor. She is a senior. She will do a back 1 1/2 somersault from the pike position. There you see the discussion. And here you see McGrath.
A little bit of a spread in her legs at the very end on her entry, but otherwise an excellent dive.
3rd year to state for McGrath. She won the Prairie State Games last summer.
It's hard to tell that her legs are spread here. Maybe the judges didn't see it, but there was a little bit of a spread there, and that affected her entry.
The scores, the high 5-5. There are 3 of those, 3 5-0s and a 4-0. Here now is Catherine Hart from St. Charles. She will do a forward 1 somersault with 2 twists, 2.3 degree of difficulty. She has her eye on attending Northwestern University.
Nice dive at the end there. Those St. Charles girls are so well coached, and they're always dive within themselves.
This young lady was not able to get to state last year. She was only the team's 3rd best diver.
Well, she's here now and taking it by storm. Great job. Nice dive, nice entry.
Indeed, a 7-0 for her high score, 5-5 her low, and then 5 6-0s in between. So 6-0s are what will count. And here now is our final diver of the competition out of Rockford Guilford, Kenzie Zeller. She will do a forward 1.5 somersault from the pike position.
Nice pike dive. Nice round of applause for Kenzie.
A great way to finish off the diving competition. She is only a sophomore. A beautiful dive there, and of course the opportunity perhaps to come back next year and some very strong scores. She gets 5 7-0s from the 7 judges, as well as a 6-5 and a 6-0. So those low scores will be knocked out. There you see Zeller.
I can guarantee you she'll be back. She's her coach is Jean Cassiope. She's only a sophomore. The tradition of diving at Rockford Guilford should be back and up there in the top 6 next year.
Well, we've got, we believe, Jenny Baker, the champion here. Let's take a look at her final dive.
Their final finish, 432.85 points. She's our unofficial winner.
And we'll give you all the winners and have our next event coming up, the 100 Butterfly.
It never gets a chance to come out.
Awards, 3.5.
Yep, and 3 5s and a 3-0. There are 4 3-5s plus a 4-0 for Mont. And now Jane McGrath out of Homewood Flossmoor. She is a senior. She will do a back 1 1/2 somersault from the pike position. There you see the discussion. And here you see McGrath.
A little bit of a spread in her legs at the very end on her entry, but otherwise an excellent dive.
3rd year to state for McGrath. She won the Prairie State Games last summer.
It's hard to tell that her legs are spread here. Maybe the judges didn't see it, but there was a little bit of a spread there, and that affected her entry.
The scores, the high 5-5. There are 3 of those, 3 5-0s and a 4-0. Here now is Catherine Hart from St. Charles. She will do a forward 1 somersault with 2 twists, 2.3 degree of difficulty. She has her eye on attending Northwestern University.
Nice dive at the end there. Those St. Charles girls are so well coached, and they're always dive within themselves.
This young lady was not able to get to state last year. She was only the team's 3rd best diver.
Well, she's here now and taking it by storm. Great job. Nice dive, nice entry.
Indeed, a 7-0 for her high score, 5-5 her low, and then 5 6-0s in between. So 6-0s are what will count. And here now is our final diver of the competition out of Rockford Guilford, Kenzie Zeller. She will do a forward 1 1/2 somersault from the pike position.
Nice pike dive. Nice round of applause for Kenzie.
A great way to finish off the diving competition. She is only a sophomore. A beautiful dive there, and of course the opportunity perhaps to come back next year and some very strong scores. She gets 5 7-0s from the 7 judges, as well as a 6-5 and a 6-0. So those low scores will be knocked out. There you see Zeller.
I can guarantee you she'll be back. She's her coach is Jean Cassiope. She's only a sophomore. the tradition of diving at Rockford Guilford should be back and up there in the top 6 next year.
Well, we've got, we believe, Jenny Baker, the champion here. Let's take a look at her final dive.
She has a great dive there. Final finish, 432.85 points. She's our unofficial winner.
And we'll give you all the winners and have our next event coming up, the 100 butterfly. Ron Gleason and Bruce Woodbury back at New Trier High School, the state swimming and diving championships. And let's give you the results in diving. Before we left, we told you we thought we had an unofficial winner. We'll get to that, but let's talk about how they finished up place-wise. In 12th, Joanne Mock of Oak Forest. Then you see 11th place Shell. In 10th place, McGrath of HF. Dietrich in 9th place. Zeller in 8th. And Lydia Ball finishing in 7th place. Now look at this. In 6th place, Catherine Hart. Molly Searing of Evanston in 5th, Laura Winger in 4th, Tiffany Cutinelli in 3rd. Jenny Baker Spectacular finished with well more than 400 total points, finishing in 2nd place because back to defend her championship successfully, Carrie Zarcy, and she becomes the 3rd ever 3-time winner in state diving competition. Congratulations to Zarcy. It was very close. The Rockford Auburn senior finishing with 434.35 points compared to Jenny Baker 432.85. And to give you an idea, a year ago Baker finished in 3rd place, and the 2nd place finisher, Jennifer Noonan, scored 367 points. So we had 2 potential champions here today.
Well, one of the greatest diving finishes I've ever seen. Carrie Zarcy came into the last 3 dives with 28 points down, and she made up those 28 points. And she did it. It wasn't that Jenny dove poorly. It's Carrie dove so fantastically. What a great finish for Carrie Zarcy of her high school career. And just in another month and a half, she'll be at Michigan diving, practicing, getting ready for the Olympic trials next spring.
She psychs up. I talked to her mother the other day, and she said she psychs up by listening to a motivational tape she put together, various themes, the theme from Hoosier, the Olympic fanfare, and the like. And that's how she psychs up for these events. And Carrie Zarcy comes up with the championship. Let's take a look at how Zarcy closed things up to clinch her 3rd championship in the state of Illinois.
Look at the concentration on her face. She knows she has to really nail this dive, and she is really focused. Tight, nails that dive. She wins the championship by 1.5 points. 1.5 points.
And as quickly as the diving competition closes up, you see Hinsdale Central in the lead. West Chicago currently in 2nd place. And time now for the 100-yard butterfly event as the swimmers already are on their marks. We'll tell you who's in what lane as we go along. Okay, well, we're going to have a slight delay here, so let's take a look quickly at the way the lane designations go. Kilgallen, Hoffey. You see the other names there out of Woodstock, Deerfield, New Trier, Naperville Central. And here we go. We're underway with the 100-yard butterfly. It'll be 4 laps all told, and they get off to a very strong start and very even here on lap number 1.
Many think this is the most difficult race to swim. It's really powerful stroke. Takes so much strength and really guts to do well in this race.
Tori Kilgallen in lane number 2 out of West Chicago appears to have a slight advantage with Becca Hoffey, the senior out of Hinsdale Central, touching right there with her. And you see, in fact, the way the lanes correspond. In lane number 5, Jillian Randall now is starting to come on strong. She is the junior out of Deerfield here in lap number 3.
Looks like lane 2 is our leader right from here, from our angle, and she touches first.
That is Becca Hoffey out of Hinsdale Central. And here they come for the stretch. The final 25 yards of the butterfly. On the top of the screen, you see the 2 girls. It looks like Kilgallen now may have the advantage. It is very, very close. It is Kilgallen who touches first in lane number 2. She is followed in lane 5 by Jillian Randall. And in lane number 4, Lita Chidester, a junior out of Woodstock High School. The winning time for the consolation round is 59 seconds, .58, so just 2/100ths below 1 minute even.
What a great race, and you can tell that that it takes a lot of strength, and the kids did just fabulous.
Now let's set the championship lanes for you. You see the state record time is 55 seconds, .62. It was set back in the 87-88 prelims by Wheeling's Kristen Stout. Let's show you how they're going to line up here on the lanes. In the championship of the 100 butterfly, Kristen Nowaida from the host school, New Trier. She's a sophomore. Lane number 3, a junior, Julie Bancroft. In lane number 4, after a second place finish today in the 200 IM, Lisa Kuhl, the junior.
Defending champion.
Lane number 5, Wendy Gendler. She is a junior. To lane number 6 out of Rockford Guilford, Susan Kitzman. She is a senior. And a junior from Oak Park River Forest, Kate Wendt, in lane number 7.
Kate finished 4th last year. Lisa Kuhl's won this event 2 years in a row. She'll be the first person since Kristen Stout to win this event 3 times, as she can walk off with the championship today.
Take your mark.
And they are off, and again getting off to a good start in lane number 4. That is Lisa Kuhl.
Lisa's so quick. She gets off to real quick starts, and she has great turns.
She already has an advantage about shoulder length. She takes the first turn. You see currently in second place at the bottom of your screen is junior Kate Wendt having a strong showing. And apparently in third place at the moment, it looks like it is Wendy Gendler, the HF junior, in lane number 5. Lap number 3, Lisa Kuhl has the advantage, but Wendy Gendler now is right there with her, as is Kate Wendt in the bottom of your screen. But you see, Lisa Kuhl out of Guilford High School in Rockford has the advantage now by nearly a full length. In fact, it is indeed a full length. We are down to the final 25 yards of the championship of the 100-yard butterfly. It is Lisa Kuhl gunning for another championship. Lisa Kuhl with the advantage easily will win the 100 butterfly.
Wow.
Second place, however, is very close. It is Kate Wendt, who finished at the bottom of the screen, but there you see it flipping up the goggles. Lisa Kuhl wins the championship 56.29, and she finishes by more than a second, nearly a second and a half ahead of the junior Kate Wendt.
What a swim. Lisa, his goal was to break the state record. Every year she's gotten a little bit closer. She has such a strong finish as she swims here, and she really almost a perfect stroke. Just a beautiful rhythm on the stroke. You can see she just lifts her head slightly to get a breath, and it looks so effortlessly, but believe me, it is a hard stroke to do, and she is just 6/10 away from that state record. And I'm already looking forward to next year.
So chalk up a championship for Rockford, Guilford, and Kuhl. And we will come back to have the awards and the next event, the 100-yard freestyle, as we continue with the championships here on Sports Channel.
There's Lisa Kuhl, just her 3rd consecutive state championship, and what a great swim that was. Every year a little bit faster, and we'll see her again next year.
So here's the way the results went in the butterfly. In 12th place, Jessica Knippenberg. In 11th, Swarson. 10th place for Hoffey out of Hinsdale Central. Chidester from Woodstock finished 9th. Jillian Randall in 8th place, and West Chicago's Corey Gilgallen finishes in 7th. That's the consolation. Here's the way the championship results came. In 6th place, Susan Kitzman of Rockford Guilford. 5th place, Julie Bancroft of Springfield Southeast. Kristen Nowaida from New Trier finishing in 4th. And then you see a tie for 2nd place, Kate Wendt and Wendy Gendler. And then the Kuhl champion once again, Lisa Kuhl, her 3rd consecutive title, 2nd time that's ever been done. Kristen Stout of Wheeling had done it in the mid-1980s. Here you see the 2 who tied for 2nd place, Gendler and Wendt, stride for stride at the finish. And that was the real race in this event. Lisa Kuhl definitely had the championship all crown, but congratulations to all of those who wind up placing. And of course 16 points racked up by the champion Lisa Kuhl for her school in the overall team standings.
Her goal was to break the state record, and she'll have one more shot at it next year. She's not far away from it.
Well, she has a chance to set a state record of a different sort if she can pull off another victory again. She'll be the only 4-time winner in this event.
She's a happy girl.
Oh, you betcha. Now coming up, we've got the 100-yard freestyle event. Another big sprint. This will be the consolation round, and let's take a look at how the swimmers will be lane to lane. You have McLeod in lane number 2 out of Barrington. Chio from Maine East in lane number 3. Flavia Ray in lane number 4 out of Urbana. Erin Kilburn from Naperville Central in lane number 5. Nicole Redmond out of Oak Park River Forest. And Kate Ryan in lane number 7 out of West Chicago Community High School. And we've seen some of these names already in earlier competition. We have had 6 events so far. We still have about halfway yet to go. This is event number 7, the 100 freestyle consolation round competition. Well, when you get to the 50 and the 100, you're just talking about all-out power, aren't you?
Yeah, this is another race. It's an all-out sprint. The start is so important in this race, as well as the turns.
Mr. Starter, take your mark.
Underway and getting off very strong in lane number 6, Nicole Redmond, the junior from Oak Park, had a strong leap. And as you look at it, it is tight here. It appears to be lane 2 and lane 4, which share the lead at the moment. That would be Chio and Kilburn in lane number 4. And it's Kilburn now, the senior out of Naperville Central, who takes the lead here on lap number 2.
Yeah, this race is usually won on the 3rd lap here. And they're coming off the wall kicking, and you can see that there's a strong girl right in the middle there.
Yeah, that's Kilburn. She got a great push off the turn. Kilburn in the lead. Second place next to her now appears to be Flavia Ray in lane 4 out of Urbana.
But Kilburn still has the lead, and she's got her head down, and but look at it on the right there. Ray's coming up.
But it is Kilburn, but very, very tight with Ray and Chio, Kilburn, and right next to her, it is Redmond. It's close.
Wow.
And it is Kilburn who comes up with the victory in the consolation heat of the 100-yard freestyle. Finishing right behind her was Redmond, who made a very strong late charge. 53 seconds, .25 for the victor to finish overall in 7th place here from the consolation round.
Redmond had a great start and had a great finish. She really came on strong there, but Erin Kilburn was able to hold her off.
Now to give you an idea of the kind of speed you need to win this overall, the championship round coming up, the state record, 50.43 seconds. And let's set them for you lane by lane. In lane number 2, she'll be at the top of your screen, the freshman, Natalie Larrick. In lane number 3, J.J. Bontrager out of Naperville North. She is a junior. Tina Hinton, who already has a championship in the 50, the senior in lane 4. Sarah Randag, who wound up close behind, the senior in lane number 5. Debbie Lumen, the senior in lane number 6 out of Palatine. And in lane number 7 is sophomore Jennifer Steffen out of Hinsdale Central, who has moved up. She was on the JV team last year, so to move up from JV her freshman year to be in the championships her sophomore year has been a dramatic improvement indeed.
Yeah, you got to remember that's a JV team at Hinsdale Central, which could beat most of these
Mr.
teams.
Starter, take your mark.
And the push-off.
Starter held him a long time. He must have seen some movement there, but there's Tina Hinton right out there in front right away.
It was interesting to see how Hinton pushed off to get underway. She wears way back and gets tremendous spring. And Hinton in lane number 4 currently with the advantage, and next to her Sarah Randag is there. Head-to-head friendly competition continues.
Look at how strong their leg kicks are. You can just see them working those kicks and off the wall. This is going to be quite a race here, right down to the wire here. J.J. Bottinger and Tina Hinton, longtime friends, longtime competitors.
As well, Sarah Randag right there, and you see Tina Hinton in the lead in lane number 4, followed by Bontrager in lane number 3. Tina Hinton has the advantage, but not a big advantage. It's Hinton in the lead. Hinton, but look at Bontrager coming on here at the tail end. Here we come to the finish. It is Hinton who comes in first, and actually coming back, Sarah Randag to finish 2nd, and Bontrager 3rd. But what a tremendous charge there at the tail end before Hinton racks up her 2nd championship of the meet.
Wow, those 3 girls were sure were the class of the heat and of the event this year.
Look
what
at
a race.
the times there. For the win, 51.46, but look at second, 51.88. That is 1/100th of a second faster than J.J. Bontrager, who winds up in 3rd. Let's take a look at the tail end here of the 100-yard freestyle.
They're just so powerful in their strokes. and nice strong finishes. And look at her reach for the wall. You could tell she was almost overreaching. She wanted to get that hand in there. I bet she hadn't cut her fingernails for a week.
Back with the awards in one of the distance events. The 500-yard freestyle is coming up. Here are the results from the consolation portion of the 100-yard freestyle. Mandy McLeod finishing in 12th place. Kay Ryan in 11th out of West Chicago. The Maine East youngster Claudine Chio finishing in 10th. Flavia Ray in 9th place out of Urbana. Nicole Redmond in 8th place out of Oak Park River Forest. And Erin Kilburn out of Naperville Central finishing in 7th. And the championship round, Debbie Lumen of Palatine winds up in 6th place. Natalie Larrick, the freshman out of Hinsdale, finishes 5th. Her teammate Jennifer Steffen finishes in 4th place. J.J. Bontrager in a very tight 3rd place finish behind Sarah Randag in 2nd. And Tina Hinton winning the championship. Hinton out of Mount Zion taking home the crown of the 100-yard freestyle. And for Hinton, her 2nd championship of the day after winning the 50-yard freestyle earlier on.
Nice finish to her high school career, and there she is.
Tina Hinton having an outstanding career, wound up 2nd in this event a year ago in the 50 and 100, and now taking home the crown in both events in 1991.
Thank you guys.
51 seconds and 46 100ths. Excellent time for Tina Hinton, the champion. We have the 500-yard freestyle event coming up, and this is a dramatic change. We go from the sprints to something that involves a bit more, in fact, a lot more endurance. The 8th event of the competition, the 500-yard freestyle. Here's the way that things will stack up. In lane number 2, it'll be Kim Vender out of New Trier. In lane number 3, sophomore Lindy Mercer. Lane 4, Beth Updegraff, a junior. Lane number 5, Schuler. She's a junior. Deegan in lane number 6. Moore out of Homewood Flossmoor. She is a junior who qualified for this event as a freshman but did not last year. And Susan Kitzman, who is a senior out of Rockford Guilford, will be in lane number 7. Updegraff in lane 4. She finished 8th in this event last year. If she can win the consolation, that would be a 7th place finale. This is one of those events where you truly have to pace yourself, take your time, and you make that mad dash at the finish.
Swimmer with 2 lanes and 5 yards left. Mr. Starter, take your mark.
And they're off in the 500-yard freestyle.
As you said, this race is more of an endurance race. It doesn't look like they're pacing themselves. These girls love to train, they love to race, and it's really a strategy race. Some of them are swimmers that have to go out real hard. Some of them have to go, just try to pace themselves and try to be even. And that's the latest thinking on this race, is to go out even and try to keep every 50 exactly the same. The closer you can come to that even splitting, the better off you're going to be. You want to breathe regularly so you don't go into oxygen jet, so your muscles don't all tighten up.
Lane number 5, Courtney Schuler in the 3rd turn has got about a half a length lead. She's a junior, says she dedicated this year's race to Andrew Johnstone, a friend of hers from the school who died in an auto accident in the summertime. She says his memory has pushed her so much trying to be like him, and this was his race. So she's dedicating this to him, and Courtney Schuler currently with the lead. Right next to her, Beth Updegraff is in lane number 4. And you see the V pattern starting to emerge here as we continue on. This will now be lap number 5 coming up after the turn.
They have counters at the end. You can see the 5 there, and each girl is allowed to have 1 counter at the end of the pool. It's not that they can't count the race themselves, but sometimes you get so involved with the race in your strategy that you lose exactly where you are.
Well, it's very tight at the front. Looks like Updegraff and Mercer and Schuler are all pretty much neck to neck, and in lane number 2, Mercer, the sophomore, may have taken a very slight advantage. Nope, take a look again. It looks to be again Schuler who has got the lead, but off the turn she may have dropped just a bit. Looked like Updegraff right next to her got a better push off.
You might see the lead change a couple of times here. I'm hoping for a real good race. It's a lot more fun to watch these races when the lead changes back and forth, and you can see there's 3, 4 girls, 5 girls right together there.
Slightly over 2 minutes there for the push-off time as they complete now their 8th lap of the competition. It is Schuler who's got the lead. To her left and bottom of the screen is Maura Deegan, a junior, who qualified as a freshman, played soccer in the spring, but she also hurt her knee and they weren't sure that she'd be able to compete. But she has certainly come back very strong. In fact, Skip Green, her coach, said he didn't really expect that she'd be more than a utility swimmer perhaps this year. Instead, here she is in state championship competition.
Well, the pace is right on. They're all going about 32 seconds per 50 and 31 plus the last one. They're doing a great job of keeping that pace. They're breathing every stroke. And, you know, you can see from the monitor, some of them are those 2-beat kicks where it doesn't look like they're kicking at all, and the others have that 6-beat traditional freestyle kick.
Lindy Mercer has a slight lead going into the turn, but you saw there Updegraff was trying to catch up, and it looks like Updegraff now is just pulled barely in front of her.
We got quite a race going here between Updegraff and Courtney Schuler. They both were in the finals last year. Courtney was 4th, and Updegraff Beth was 8th last year in the finals.
And don't leave out the sophomore Lindy Mercer. Can these swimmers, as they're going along here in this long distance, can they see each other and know where their competitor is at?
Exactly. They know exactly where their competitors are, and they want to keep contact with them. They don't want somebody to get away from it. It's a lot easier to swim when they're right next to you than if you lose contact with them. And they're watching each other. It spurs them on, and it helps one another.
5 laps to go, and you take a look at them, and each time they take a breath, they look one way and then alternate the other way so they can truly see their competitors side by side. It's Updegraff and Mercer who are running almost neck and neck here as we go into this turn. It is Updegraff who has a very slight advantage over Mercer, and currently 3rd looks like Courtney Schuler in lane number 5. But there you see the 2 leaders who are very, very close. Updegraff on the bottom of your screen in lane number 4. Trying to finish out strong. She has 3 laps to go.
Well, you can see that she's paced it beautifully. Her stroke looks exactly the same. The pace is exactly the same as it was the first 50. And that's exactly what her coach wants her to do. She's building right now. She looks a little bit stronger and going a little bit faster. She doesn't have to hold back now. She knows she can last 50 more yards. And she's really coming on strong.
Indeed, she has taken more than a full length here as she goes to the turn for the final lap.
And the counter tells them that that's her final lap, that the fluorescent card is with a number 19 on it, and that she just finishes real hard. They don't mind going into oxygen debt now because they know that they're finished.
Updegraff finishes 1st, Mercer finishes 2nd. The race for 3rd, it appears to be Maura Deegan, the junior, out of Homewood Flossmoor.
Yeah, what a great race.
Well, the board actually shows that Deegan finishes in 2nd place, so that is unofficial. Of course, you're looking at 12th through 7th place overall. We're not looking at the championship round, but Updegraff does finish in 7th place by taking the victory. And we'll have to check on that order finish because that is not the way they came home. There may perhaps have been an error in timing here. Looks like 3 and 5. The timers somehow electronically got mixed up together because 2nd place should belong to lane number 3. Let's take a look at how this thing finished. Updegraff with a very solid finish.
Yeah, real strong finish here. She takes that last breath, but then she holds her breath and really hits the board hard there. Now, sometimes what happens if you don't finish hard, and you can see that Lindy Mercer is just kind of gliding in there. If she doesn't hit that pad hard enough, it's not going to activate the time.
State record in this event, 4:48 even. The 500-yard championships now coming up. And they are already on their marks. In lane number 2, it is Courtney Coleman, the freshman. Kim DeCroix, the junior, is in lane number 3. There you see Coleman, the freshman. Here is DeCroix now, finished 3rd place 1 year ago in this event. Am Campy, who already has won a distance event earlier today, finishing in lane number 4. Greta Stephenson finished 2nd as a junior in lane number 5, 4-time qualifier. Jamie White in lane number 6. And in lane number 7, it is Dee Dee Cooper, a senior.
Take your mark.
And underway now for the championship portion here, the 500-yard freestyle. Ann Campy out of Decatur MacArthur in lane number 4, but the first to touch appeared to be Kim DeCroy, who we mentioned finished 3rd last year. She's out of Richwoods High School in Peoria. It'll be tight here for the first couple of laps as the swimmers will pace themselves. And in lane number 1, the freshman Coleman currently has the lead out of Wheaton Central, and in the bottom of your screen, Dee Cooper is right there as well.
Yeah, this was a fabulous race between these two last year. They finished 1-2. Ann and Greta just swam right neck and neck the whole way, and they had a fabulous race to watch last year. And then right at the end, Ann just pulled away. But it was a fun race to watch, and it looks like it's going to be the same today. But they better keep an eye on Courtney Coleman over there in lane 3, because she's starting to pull away a little bit.
Just a freshman, and they don't have a swim team at Wheaton Central High School, and she wanted to be involved in an activity. So believe it or not, until about mid-October, she was running cross country. She has not had the same kind of training that some of these other girls here have been through day in and day out for long hours, mornings and afternoons in the pool. And you see there at the bottom of your screen as well, Cooper doing a fine job. It's actually a very tight race here as we're in the midst of lap number 5, but Coleman is in the...
I like to call this outside smoke. She's outside. Nobody else can see her except the girl right to her right. And unless they keep their eyes open, they're going to lose her, and they're going to race amongst themselves, and they'll forget about her out on the outside.
Well, it is Coleman in the lead, and then go down to lane number 6 next to bottom on your screen. That's the junior Jamie White, who currently is 2nd, as she takes the turn for the 7th lap. 20 laps all told here for this championship event.
Courtney might have discovered a new training method. The coaches will be all get together trying to talk about this one if she's successful with this.
Well, certainly cross country works well for your endurance, and this is very much an endurance event. Courtney Coleman in the lead. It's funny talking to her coach, Bob Struby from the Glen Ellen Y. He talks about how at this event it may be more difficult for someone who doesn't have a team. They don't have quite the support behind you, the cheering support of others who are involved in this activity, but there's plenty of noise here, and Coleman, the freshman, continues to be the front runner, and currently in lane number 4, Ann Campy now is in 2nd place, and Greta Stevenson is in 3rd.
I think Ann and Greta know exactly where they are. They're on their pace, and it's their race to lose. I think they're out there, they're doing a great job, and they haven't lost Courtney, and you can see that they're coming up a little bit now.
Yeah, and Campy is starting to catch up in lane number 4 in the middle of your screen. Campy has already won the championship for the 2nd straight year in the 200 IM, and now 3 of them neck and neck touching at the same time, Coleman, Campy, and Stephenson. Campy competed in the Olympic Festival at Los Angeles on the junior national team, and they say that maybe that's how she has learned to prepare mentally. Finished 5th in the 400 IM at the senior nationals in Fort Lauderdale, and she is right there alongside of Campy. It is Stephenson who finished 2nd as a junior, a 4-time state qualifier right there, and it looks like Coleman now is dropping back to 3rd place.
What a race, though. Look at these girls. They're right together, neck and neck. Defending champion, 1-2 last year. They're 1-2 again today. It's just a fabulous race to watch.
You see Ann Campy in lane number 4. She has got the blue cap on. The red cap is Greta Stephenson in lane number 5. And they are just neck and neck with the freshman Coleman currently in 3rd place.
What a treat to have a chance to watch these girls swim. They're just neck and neck, right together, competing like real champions, giving it their all. Greta's there in the red cap, and Ann is in the blue cap.
Stephenson just slightly behind, and quite a story. Here's a young lady who suffered from a sports-induced asthma problem early in the season, had some trouble breathing in practice, and certainly with a distance event that causes many problems, but she has managed to train through her difficulties, and right now she is just barely behind the leader, Ann Campy from MacArthur.
Look out for Greta here now. If she's with Ann the last 50, she has a real shot at it, but Ann has really picked up the pace a lot. She's moving her arms a lot faster than she was before, and she looks like one determined swimmer.
Campy got a great push out of the final turn, and here we come for the final moments. Ann Campy now with a full-length lead over the runner-up Greta Stephenson in the 500-yard freestyle event. 3rd place appears to go to Courtney Coleman.
What a race those girls have, and what a love and respect that they have for each other. Fabulous race.
There you see it in lane number 4. Campy finishing with 4:57.86. Now that is slower than her time last year by about 2.5 seconds. The runner-up there, Stephenson, 4:59.88. Nonetheless, it is another championship for that young lady. And Campy enjoying it. Let's take another look at the way this thing finished.
And the last 50, Ann just pulled out. She was just unbelievable that last 50. Muscled herself off the wall and really pulled away at the end. You know, I think the reason the time wasn't as fast is they were so busy competing against one another. But the girl that really impressed me, not only Ann and Gretchen, but the freshman over there from Wheaton. Your coach is right. She is all by herself over there. Nobody really notices her, but she swam a great roost.
So Campy comes up the champion. We'll have the awards for you and the 200-yard freestyle relay coming up next. Here are the girls' state championships. Who says parents can't get excited at the state championships? Dee Dee Cooper's mother cheering on the senior from Naperville North during the finals of the 500 free. And let's take a look at the consolation results. In 12th place, Kitzman out of Rockford Guilford. Vendor out of New Trier finishing 11th. Courtney Schuler in 10th place. Maura Deegan in 9th. Lindy Mercer from Normal in 8th place. And HF's Beth Uttergroff finishing in 7th. And the championship results, Jamie White in 6th place. Dee Dee Cooper in 5th out of Naperville. Kim DeCroix from Peoria in 4th. Courtney Coleman of Wheaton Central in 3rd. And then that great finish, Greta Stephenson of Hinsdale Central finishing in 2nd. And Ann Campy out of MacArthur High School in Decatur, the champion once again. And all Campy has done the last 2 years is win 4 individual championships. 2 in the IM event and now 2 in the 500-yard freestyle. And she could be back another year. She's just a junior.
What a swimmer she is.
4:57 and 86/100ths. Good time for Ann Campy, who has not really been gearing up. She hasn't really tapered for this event, according to her mother. Why, she has really been preparing more for the U.S. Open coming up next week and the like. Next up, we have the 200-yard freestyle relay, and let's take a look at how the consolation lanes will be matching up. In lane number 2, we'll have the squad from Barrington. Lane number 3, it'll be Peoria Richwoods. In lane number 4, from New Trier, Winnetka. Lane number 5, Lyons Township from LaGrange. Lane number 6, out of Homewood Flossmoor. And in lane number 7, Hoffman Estates High School.
This is such an exciting event. It's every 4 swimmers going 50 yards freestyle. Brand new event last year, and it is so exciting to watch. They put it in because of the fans, and it's another great relay event.
Well, speaking of fans, we have a standing room crowd here at the Natatorium at New Trier High School here in Winnetka. And we're about set to get underway with the consolation bracket of the 200-yard freestyle relay. There you see all the numbers of those cheering on and making their presence felt here for the swimmers while they're in the pool.
This is like the 50 freestyle times 4. 4 important starts, 4 important turns.
Mr. Starter, take your mark.
Well, it's just sprint, sprint, and more sprint for this event as we are underway.
There's less than a second that separates the 7th place team and the 12th place team in this heat, and it's just dynamite to watch this. They're off the wall. Gosh, I can't even tell who's in first place.
No, it's that close. It is very tight. If you look toward the center of your screen, it would appear in lane number 4 that New Trier has got the advantage. New Trier led off by Kristen Horvitz, the senior, with Allison Swatzel, the sophomore, taking over from there. In fact, it is New Trier which currently has the advantage. And then toward the bottom of your screen in lane 6, Homewood Flossmoor. You're watching Christina Tripp, who is currently in 2nd place, but watch her pull. Watch her have a very strong kick here, and she is right there with New Trier and Swatzel.
Here's Laura Southwick for New Trier. A really good start for Laura, and they've taken a slight lead, and it's really going to be interesting. Then New Trier anchors with Kim Vendor, who just finished the 500 freestyle, which is a long endurance event. Kim comes off and now is doing the short sprint.
And look at Hoffman Estates at the bottom of the screen, but here is New Trier and Southwick, the senior, who is coming in to touch first, and she will be succeeded by Kim Bender, the sophomore, as New Trier now has a 3/4 length lead over Lions of LaGrange, it appears, in second place, just below them on your screen. And actually look at the bottom again. Hoffman Estates, Jennifer Brendel, she is right there as well. It appears to be New Trier with the advantage, and Hoffman Estates in second.
Yeah, but Hoffman Estates is coming on.
But look at New Trier. Yep, New Trier gets the title. Hoffman Estates comes in second. We're talking for the consolation bracket. First place goes to New Trier. And there you see a very happy Kim Bender standing up. 1:40.62 the winning time. Second place to Hoffman Estates, and third there in the consolation bracket to Lyons Township of LaGrange, which had Katie Polasic bringing them up. Now we have the championship event coming up, and you can get an idea just how fast this can get. Last year's state record setting time, 1:38.28. It was set by Hinsdale Central. And let's see how these teams will rack up lane by lane. The squad from Crystal Lake Central will be in lane number 2. In lane number 3, it is Naperville Central. Lane number 4, the defending champ from Hinsdale Central. The squad from West Chicago Community in lane 5. The foursome from Palatine is in lane number 6. And St. Charles High School represented in lane number 7. Interesting event here to take a look at how they stack up. You can see that Greta Stephenson for Hinsdale Central is the anchor for their team. Last year they had Sarah Perkins, who has since graduated, as the anchor. But Stephenson we've seen in some of the longer events, although this truly is the outright sprint for each individual.
The girls in lane 2, Crystal Lake, they don't have a pool. They get to share the YMCA with the other 3 schools in their district, so they get 2 lanes, 2 of the 6 lanes to practice in 3 days a week. And here they are in the state finals.
Mr. Starter, take your mark.
And we are underway in the championship of the 200-yard freestyle.
Hinsdale in lane 4 was just 34/100s off the state record last night, and I know that's their goal, is to try to get that state record.
Hinsdale Central is in the lead, but Palatine in lane number 6, next to the bottom on your screen, currently in second place. But it is very tight there with St. Charles currently in 7th place. And now we have the second group jumping off. Hinsdale now goes with Jennifer Burrish to follow Meredith Quast, who led things off. Burrish currently in the lead for Hinsdale, and then it is very tight behind her. Stacy Stark going for Naperville Central off to the area above her on the screen, and below her from West Chicago, Kate Ryan currently going. And we're about set to get the touch here with still Hinsdale Central with the advantage. And they jump off first. So Hoffy in the water, currently in the lead, and she is closely followed by Corey Gilgallen of West Chicago off to her left. And watch the charge by Gilgallen. They are very, very tight here in lanes number 4 and 5.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the anchor swimmer, Greta Stephenson and Erin Myers.
And the leap, and Stephenson gets out first. And then Myers gets out second, just off to her left. And you see to her right as well, Erin Kilburn, the senior.
What a race. Look at this race. Great turn by West Chicago.
It's Hinsdale and West Chicago right there neck and neck. And not far behind, look to the left. Here comes Naperville Central. What a finish we've got. It is very, very close.
Wow, West Chicago. State record, I think. Wait.
1:38.60 is the time.
No,
and that is just off the record set by Hinsdale Central a year ago. And Hinsdale Central finishes 12/100ths of a second behind. What a tremendous finish, and a very tight third indeed for Naperville Central. 3 teams just neck and neck, and it came down to hundredths of seconds. Let's take a look at how this exciting finish occurred.
Look at this finish here. Greta Stephenson right there in the middle. She eyes her, but West Chicago finishes. Erin Myers finishes first. They're all looking at the clock to see who the winner is.
A couple of errands, Myers and Kilburn, bring them back to make it a very tight race. We'll be back with the awards and move on to our next event, the 100-yard backstroke, as we continue here from New Trier High School. The exuberation of a champion, Aaron Myers of West Chicago, taking the title in the 200-yard freestyle relay event.
This meet has come down to relays the last couple of years. If you have 3 good relays, you're in like Flint.
Well, there you see Barrington in 12th, Homewood Flossmoor in 11th, Peoria Richwoods finishes 10th, Lyons Township in 9th, Hoffman Estates 8th place, New Trier finishes in 7th place. And for the championship results, here's how it looks. Finishing in 6th place, St. Charles High School. The team from Crystal Lake Central winds up in place number 5. Palatine in 4th position. 3rd place goes to the team from Naperville Central. Hinsdale Central, last year's champ, now the runner-up this year, finishing in 2nd. And West Chicago Community High School winds up as the 2nd ever champion in this relatively new event, the 200-yard freestyle relay. So congratulations to West Chicago, as the medals you see being awarded now to the runner-ups from Hinsdale Central, who nonetheless, keep in mind, get credit for finishing 2nd. They will get a definite point total and a lot of points. Being a relay, you double the number of points you get for an individual 2nd place finisher. So this will all add on to what everybody is anticipating to be a team trophy for the 2nd consecutive year and 5th time in school history. The champions now coming down the loop as they get their applause from the fans watching on. The team from West Chicago of Manning and Ryan and Gilgallen and Aaron Myers.
This is West Chicago's 2nd relay championship of the day. They won the medley relay, if we recall, earlier in the day, and then they've come back to win the 200 freestyle relay.
Congratulations.
Relays are so important in the team total, and I don't think they qualified a freestyle relay here at the end, so a 400 freestyle relay, so they're going to run out of swimmers.
Well, indeed, when you win a relay, you get 32 total points, whereas the runner-up will get 26 points. In an individual event, the winner gets 16 points, the runner-up 13, and it kind of tapers down to where the 12th place finisher in the relays gets 2 points. And now we have coming up the backstroke competition, the consolation round for the 100-yard event. Let's take a look at how they stack up lane-wise. Allison Kazaboski, the sophomore from Crystal Lake Central, in lane number 2. Megan Dukestein of Oak Park, the senior. Lane number 4, Jenny Swarson out of New Trier. She's a junior. Stephanie Toth, who finished 8th today in the 200 IM, is in lane number 5. Erin Rains, the junior, in lane number 6. And from Champaign, Janie Reed, the freshman, in lane number 7. Consolation heat of the 100-yard backstroke coming up.
Last year they changed the rule on the turn, and I thought it would have a big effect on the number of qualifiers and the number of people that we get under 59 or a minute in this event, and it really doesn't seem to have had much of an effect. The same about the same number of people are under a minute every year, and the rule to me looked like it was going to make a big effect on the results.
Now keep a close eye on lane number 5 when we get going. Stephanie Toth, you see there Erin Rains, the junior, preparing, but there is Toth, and she has finished 7th in this event 2 consecutive years. She was the number 1 sectional qualifier coming in, so her time slowed down some in the prelims yesterday to get this far.
Take your mark.
And we are underway.
Some of them come up swimming right away, and then some of them swim halfway underwater doing the dolphin kick.
You see now in lane number 6, Erin Rains has the early lead. Check it, that's Toth in lane number 5, who's actually in front.
Well, she's swimming for 7th place again.
Well, last year she was faster in the sectional than she was in the state meet, and this year was pretty much the same thing. In fact, by a full second.
Wow. She looks pretty determined there. Head's cocked to one side. It must be her style. To see how they can roll over on their stomach and push off the wall. It's almost a freestyle turn.
Well, Jenny Swarson to her right and Erin Rains to her left are right there with them. But here comes Stephanie Toth. It is very, very close as they come down to the finish. It may be Swarson to touch first, and yep, it appears to be Jenny. No, it is not. Well, yes, it is. I checked myself. Jenny Swarson will wind up in 7th place. A happy young lady, and the Trevian cheers are right in her corner. And look at the excitement on that young lady. So it is Jenny Swarson finishing in 1st place. 2nd place goes to Dukestein, who came up, and Stephanie Toth wound up in 3rd. And of course, for the consolation bracket, we still have the championships yet to come.
What a swim by Jenny Swartzen there. She's been knocking at the door, breaking a minute for a long time, and you can tell how excited she is.
All right, let's go now to the championship event. The record here is 58 seconds even for the 100 backstroke, and let's take a look lane by lane. In lane number 2, Corey Kilgallen out of West Chicago. She's a junior. Lane number 3, junior Colleen Smith of Hinsdale. She was 3rd a year ago. Junior Gretchen Verdun out of St. Charles in lane number 4. Erin Myers, a senior out of West Chicago. She was involved in the relay we saw a few minutes ago in lane number 5. Jennifer Roberts, sophomore out of Hinsdale Central in lane number 6. And in lane number 7 out of Oak Park River Forest, a junior, Kate Wendt.
It's hard to pick a favorite in this event, even though Colleen Smith was 3rd last year and Gretchen Verdun was 4th. It's really hard to pick. They're so bunched together, it's hard to pick a favorite. It could be an outside smoke again. Look for the swimmers from West Chicago.
Mr. Starter, take your mark.
Look at the concentration there as they come off the blocks.
All of them are underwater when they for that first half of the length, and now they just move their arms fast, keep that head back, and you can see their turn, roll over on their stomach, and push off.
And the current lead next to the bottom of your screen appears to be the sophomore from Hinsdale Central, Jennifer Roberts, who competed last year in the IM. And at the turn again, Erin Myers now appeared to have a slight advantage coming off the turn.
Erin just finished that relay, it seems like minutes ago, and she's having a fabulous swim here in lane 5.
It was Myers who had that great kick at the finish that gave West Chicago the victory in that freestyle relay. And here she is again. Although Gretchen Verdun now appears to be taking the change.
Take a
look as well. Kate Wendt in lane 7. It is very close here coming down to the finish. Watch Wendt and watch lane number 4, Gretchen Verdun. And it is Verdun who comes up the champ. Her time, 58 seconds, .21. That is a tie, they say.
First place tie.
Yep, Kate Wendt and Gretchen Verdun both finishing 21/100ths of a second off of the record set here at the state meet. What a tremendous finish. And there you see the total board. Finishing in 3rd place is Erin Myers. But what a tremendous finish. Wendt came out of nowhere, and you were talking about the difficulty for swimmers in the center lanes to see what the competition on the outside are doing.
That's particularly true in the backstroke.
Let's take a look at how that tremendous finish occurred.
Well, you can see Kate way down at the bottom there, and she's kicking and finishing hard, but you can right down to a reach there. And of course, you can tell it's a tie on the replay. There's Kate. Look at how excited she is. Woo. And Gretchen Verdun.
So a couple of juniors come up co-champions in the 100-yard backstroke, and we're coming up. We will have the breaststroke competition and, of course, the awards for this past event. Stick around. And let's give you the results of the consolation bracket of the 100-yard breaststroke. Stephanie Toth apparently had an illegal turn. We're not sure, but she has been disqualified. Kazuboski finishing 11th. Rains in 10th place. Reed in 9th. Dukestein in 8th. And Swartzen finishing in 7th place. And now the championship resorts. Kilgallen out of West Chicago finishing in 6th place. Smith out of Hinsdale Central in 5th. Roberts finishing in 4th place for Hinsdale. Erin Myers out of West Chicago 3rd. And then you see the co-champs, what may be first time ever in the 17-year history of this event. Verdun along with Kate Wendt sharing the championship of the 100-yard breaststroke. And there you see a championship hug. And Kate Wendt and Gretchen Verdun enjoying themselves with a couple of leader medals around their necks. And let's take a look at just how close this finish truly was.
Yeah, you can see how, Kate Wendt at the bottom there, and Gretchen at 2nd from the top, 3rd from the top. Look at how close that is, and just reaching and touching, beautiful. Great camera work, guys.
Now we go to the 100-yard breaststroke competition, the next to last event here. And let's take a look at the consolation bracket and where they will line up. Kelly Ewalt out of Libertyville will be in lane number 2. Kara Now I'm going to try to get this right. Bauer Fino, the senior, in lane number 3. And I apologize to you, Kara, if we messed that up. Lane number 4, Sarah Stevens, a sophomore. Lane number 5, Wendy Gendler. She is a junior. Second straight year she's made it this far. Brittany Klein, a sophomore, is in lane number 6. And Kate Connell, the junior out of Crystal Lake South, is in lane number 7. Sarah Stevens, lane number 4, gearing up. Getting to be nitty-gritty time here. The last couple of opportunities to rack up some points. Everybody came in feeling that it's Hinsdale Central number 1, but a race for position number 2 in the second place trophy.
And this is where New Trier ought to pull away in that trophy race. But this race is this breaststroke race is going to be a dynamite race. This one and the finals, the consolations and the finals. The girls are ready. They're waiting.
And the push from the blacks underway in the 100 breaststroke consolation round.
You see so many different styles here. They're all effective, obviously. They have to touch with 2 hands when they push off on their stomach off the walls.
Looks like Cara Baronfino out of Pekin had the initial lead in lane number 3, but look at the bottom of your screen as well with Kate Connell, the junior.
Kate's a real determined swimmer. She was 5th last year, and I'm sure she's a little disappointed she's in the consolation heat this year.
Lap 3 out of 4 laps here in this competition.
Looks like Sarah from Urbana is out in front there.
Yeah, the sophomore Stevens will make the turn here, the first one to touch as they come down to the home stretch. Watch lane number 3 on your screen, actually lane 4 overall in the pool. And look at the bottom of your screen with Kate Connell. Those appear to be the 2 right now who have the advantage, along with Baronfino out of Pekin. Here they come to touch, and it indeed is Sarah Stevens, the sophomore from Urbana High School, who comes in first place. And coming from behind, Wendy Gendler, the junior from HF, finishes in second place. So a strong charge by Gendler at the tail end. 107.76 for the 7th overall place finisher here in the 100-yard breaststroke, and first place in the consolation bracket. And there you see her, Sarah Stevens. She will have a 7th place medal around her neck. Now coming up in the championship heat for the 100-yard breaststroke, we see the record time 103.84. And lane by lane. In lane number 2, it'll be Misty Lorch, the freshman out of Rosary. In lane number 3, 7th place a year ago, sophomore Ellen Frauman. Lane number 4, Kristen Nowaida, the sophomore from New Trier. And right next to her, the defending champ, her teammate Jenny Grable, she also a sophomore. Karen Rancourt, the junior from Libertyville, in lane number 6. And Deirdre Giesler, the junior from Palatine, in lane number 7.
Kristen Nowaida in lane 4 and Jenny Grable in lane 5. Jenny's the defending champion. Kristen has beaten her the 3 times they've been head-to-head this year. This ought to be a fabulous race.
Mr. Starter, take your mark.
Jenny is so determined, and Kristen seems so much more aggressive in her swimming. Jenny's problem, I feel, is her starts, but she had a great start there and had a good early race today. You can see their styles are almost the same. Their hands recover over the water. But don't forget that there's other swimmers in this race. Karen Rancourt is also in there, and she had out to a really good start.
Nowaida and Grable, of course, teammates, both sophomores. Nowaida, whose mother is a triathlete and marathoner, and Grable, whom Coach Tony Harper says is the toughest back-to-the-wall competitor he has on the team. And their backs are to the wall, but actually they are approaching the wall. First, the 2 of them, Nowaida and Grable, are neck and neck right now, and they have about a half a length lead on the rest.
Jenny looks like she's taking a lead.
Grable going for her 2nd consecutive championship, only in her 2nd year at New Trier High School. And there they are, and Nowaida, and there you see Grable wearing the white cap. Here they come down the stretch.
What a finish.
It is very, very close. Nowida and Grable, and it is Grable who touches for the second consecutive year first, and her teammate Nowida finishes in second place, only 23 hundredths of a second behind. A tremendous finish for the 100-yard breaststroke.
What a fabulous race. I know both the girls, and I know there was bound to be one who's disappointed and one who's elated, but they both swam their hearts out. They both had a great season, and you know, Jenny's going up to the U.S. Open.
Let's take another look at a tremendous finish.
You can see how their hands recover over the water. Jenny has had better turns today than she had in the past, and she's stretching and just touches her out.
Back with the awards in the 400-yard freestyle relay coming up here on Sports Channel. The results of the consolation bracket of the breaststroke: Connell in 12th place, Klein in 11th place. You see Ewald in 10th, Bonner Fine in 9th place, Gendler in 8th, and Stevens in 7th. And the championship results: Deidre Giesler out of Palatine in 6th place, then Rancourt in 5th, Lorich in 4th out of Rosary, Frauman from Deerfield in 3rd, and then that tremendous finish, the teammates Nowida of New Trier in 2nd, and Jenny Grable successfully defending her championship in the 100-yard breaststroke. So she has 2 championships in 2 seasons, only a sophomore. She's cheered on by her Trevian teammates, and there you see them having enjoyed their championship indeed. Let's take a look at how that last portion of the event went.
Jenny, and you can really see how their hands recover over the water. This is a new development in breaststroke the last couple of years after Tracy Calkins started doing it, but her hands recover over the water. It almost makes it look like a butterfly that doesn't come all the way back with their arm stroke. But it's a great finish, and Jenny, look at how excited she is. She is relieved. The pressure is off of her. Nice job, Jenny Grable.
Now the championship of the 400-yard freestyle relay, the final event here in the Girls State Championships. Let's take a look at them lane by lane. In lane number 2, the team from Naperville Central: Mackey, Stark, Borg, and Kilburn. In lane number 3, the foursome from Palatine High School. Lane number 4, it's the defending champ, Hinsdale Central, for this event. Lane number 5, Naperville North. The team from New Trier out of Winnetka in lane number 6, the host school. And lane number 7, it is the foursome from Deerfield High School, as we conclude here with our final championship event of 1991. 400-yard freestyle relay.
Mr. Starter, take your mark.
So each individual will go 100 yards. And it looked like Deerfield's Lynn Fadre got off to a very strong start, and she is the first to touch at the initial turn.
Deerfield had a great meet last night and continued again today. Hinsdale Central right there in the middle, though, and they kind of swam away with things after the first 100 or so last night.
Yeah, watch how Natalie Larrick, the freshman, has really gotten out very strongly after Fadre gotten out to such a spectacular start. But you can see now it is Hinsdale Central in the lead, and just above her, Palatine High School's Tracy Cromar, the sophomore. So some youngsters here very much atop. And again, look at the bottom of your screen. Fadre, again, coming on pretty strong.
What a swim for Natalie Larrick. She's had a great meet today. Just a freshman. And
it's Hinsdale getting off the boards first. Jennifer Steffen is sophomore. And next to her from Palatine, the senior Corey Dennison. Full-length lead already for Hinsdale Central.
They have such great freestylers, and they're just building and building now.
Deerfield in third, Jillian Randall swimming the second leg of this event. And at the turn, a solid lead for Jennifer Steffen and Hinsdale Central. It's about a length and a half advantage right now over second place Palatine. Hinsdale trying to wrap up what figures to be a state championship for the second straight year in grand style with the championship of the final individual event.
And they're going to, Colleen Smith is their third place swimmer here, and Tom Swear just urged them on.
Look at the big lead, too. That's about a 2-length lead now over Palatine and Nancy Rapinski, who currently holds down second place. But you can see that Colleen Smith and Hinsdale Central, the Red Devils, are alone in the pool at the center. As they come to touch up, she finishes off the first 50 yards of her portion of the freestyle event. Wow, look at that advantage. She is all alone in the center of the pool. The race right now really is for second place. Palatine is right there. And right next to Palatine, you see at the top of your screen, Naperville Central. That is the second, or rather third, Christy Borg, the senior. And here again, take a look at the way the leader is going in the red cap, Hinsdale Central and Colleen Smith. And now Greta Stephenson will be the first one off the boards, trying to open up a commanding lead. We are about maybe 5 lengths advantage right now for the leader, Hinsdale Central.
The only suspense now is whether they're going to get that state record, 331.41. We'll have to keep an eye on the clock. If Greta goes a 52, they've got a shot at it.
Stephen and Hinsdale all alone in first place. Second right now, held by Naperville Central and senior Erin Kilburn, but right next to her in lane number 3 from Palatine is senior Debbie Lumen. However, it is all Hinsdale Central in the 400-yard freestyle relay. Stephenson touches. And here we come. Stephenson all alone, enjoying a terrific relay with Larrick and Steffen and Smith. Here comes Stephenson.
Yes.
She will touch second place. At the top will be Naperville Central. Erin Kilburn touching second. Tremendous race for Hinsdale Central.
It was a real great battle for second.
Second Palatine, or rather Naperville Central.
Naperville Central, right.
And third place goes to New Trier, as Jenny Grable was the third to touch. You see the winning time, 3 minutes, 33 seconds, .18. That is not quite 2 seconds off the state record time, but certainly a state tremendous showing by Hinsdale Central and their foursome, Larrick and Steffen, Smith and Stephenson, with a tremendous race to win easily. We will have the awards coming up for the 400-yard freestyle relay coming up. And here are the results. Deerfield finishing in 6th place. New Trier in 5th place. The team from Palatine in 4th. Naperville North in 3rd. Naperville Central in 2nd. And the first place champion, Hinsdale Central, winning the 400-yard freestyle relay for the second consecutive year. An outstanding performance to win this event easily in a time of 3:33.18. There you see the presentation of the medals. Natalie Larrick, a freshman, Jennifer Steffen, a sophomore, Colleen Smith, a junior, and Greta Stephenson, a senior, having swum in that order to take another championship event.
Hinsdale had a great meet again today. This is the time that it counts at the end of the season. And they finished it off with a nice, strong relay. Very good. I know they were disappointed they didn't win the 200 relay or the IM relay, but they sure finished it off in style.
And with that strong of a finish, can there be much doubt who the team champion is? We'll find out as we continue here on Sports Channel with the award ceremony for the team trophies and the team standing. And as we await the trophy presentations, let's take a look at the final team standings. You see Hinsdale Central, the defending champ, successfully do so. Then New Trier, West Chicago 3rd, followed by Naperville North, Palatine, Naperville Central in 6th, Rockford, Guilford, St. Charles, Oak Park River Forest, and Dillfield finishing in 10th place in the overall team standings. And here you see West Chicago being presented their 3rd place trophy right now. West Chicago, coached by Dan Johnson, his 13th year overall with the school and off and on coaching this girls team. And really, when you take a look at it, Bruce Woodbury, of what they accomplished, the medley relay team to begin competition and their freestyle relay were the keys in getting so many points to finish in 3rd place in the competition.
Well, West Chicago has been the highlight or the surprise for me, a real pleasant surprise for me in swimming this year in the state meet. They have really come of age, and they're doing it with young swimmers, and we'll see them again next year and years to come.
Well, they won that 200-yard medley relay with Aaron Myers, Becky Manning, Corey Gilgallen, and Kate Ryan. 3 of them underclassmen, freshman, sophomore, junior. Only 1 senior, Myers, will be graduating off of that medley relay team. And in the 200-yard freestyle relay, while West Chicago had Manning and Ryan and Gilgallen and Myers. So very familiar names indeed. There you see the trophy right now for what will be 2nd place in this event. New Trier High School out of Winnetka, the Trevians, under Tony Harper in their 4th year. And I know for you, Bruce, this has got to really warm your heart after having coached so many state champs here back in the 1980s.
I'm so happy for Tony. He has really done a great job with this group of girls, and they have a lot of talent, and they're young and maturing fast, and I think they're going to be real strong next year as well.
Well, they had a very strong showing here today, wound up with 128 points. Again, this is a school that qualified 11 individuals and 3 relay teams into state competition for the weekend, and New Trier coming up with a 2nd place trophy. And there you see a team that's just kind of waiting for the official word of that trophy to be lifted and be awarded, and here we go. Hinsdale Central comes up the champion for the 5th time in school history, and their point total of 177 is just 1 of the all-time record set by the same Red Devil squad back in 1979. They won titles in 76, 79, 80, and 1990, and now 1991. Their head coach, Carol Bobo, and there you see the shirt on her back, HC2 Judgment Day, with the dates listed, and that talks about this being Judgment Day for their chance to win a 2nd consecutive state championship, and boy, did they ever win their judgment today.
Carol has a great staff and a great bunch of gals that are swimmers, and you can see they're just building. They're graduating, Greta Stephenson, but you notice that we had some good freshmen and younger underclassmen. They'll be back again as strong as ever.
Bruce, as you take a look at what we've seen today, and whoop, there they go, right into the drink to take a celebratory lap, if you will. Bruce, final comments on today's competition.
It was really quite a great meet. The highlights for me were obviously the West Chicago showing, but then to see Tina Hinton come back and win 2 events, and Ann Camphy come back and win 2 events, and Jenny Grable win the breaststroke. Just a fabulous meet, and Carrie Zarcy, I'll always be amazed by what she did today. That is just tremendous feat.
Winning the diving competition. All the girls in the pool wonder if they're going to be able to coax their coach in there. This time we'd like to...
They forgot about her.
Well, let's thank some of the people at the Illinois High School Association who made this Illinois State Championship event on Sports Channel possible. Executive Director H. David Fry, Associate Executive Director Donald Robinson, Assistant Executive Director Charlene Bremberg, along with Ola Bundy, James Flynn, and Martin Hickman, and also the good people at New Trier High School, Dr. Diana Lindsay, the principal, Lee Kennecke, the meet manager, Jane McNamara, assistant meet manager, along with Bill Wolf, meet manager, and our referee, Charles McCarthy. Our next IHSA event on Sports Channel will be the football championships, starting Friday at 10 a.m. when all 6 divisions will be live. Today's swimming and diving was produced and directed by Tim Sutton. The coordinating producer is Greg Bowman. Our executive producer is John Toohey. Remote facilities were provided by Trio Video. Once again, the 1991 state champion is Hinsdale Central. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of Sports Channel. Now, this is Ron Gleason for Bruce Woodbury saying thanks for watching, and stay tuned to Sports Channel for outdoor programs.